just wrapped up on a kitchen remodel and dining room remodel and flooring slash a little bit of interior trim. This before in the video was a window, and we changed it. We were able to keep the header here, and we didn't have to do any reframing. We just ordered a door to fit the window size. So we installed that. We did cut and put a new header in from here and added this window to let in room, or let in light to the dining room. My dad made all of these cabinets. These are Knotty Alder paint grade. We showed those in a different video, but they look nice in here. Blue, Raven Blue from Sherwin-Williams cabinets there, with a white oak top stained to a dark walnut mixed with, that was ebony. Had to think about that quick. Glass guy installed the glass in these, and he puts them in with silicone so that they don't vibrate. That's always annoying when you shut them and then they go boom and vibrate. That's annoying. Coming into the kitchen, we have quartz countertops. I do a dog ear clipped in so that this isn't square and you bash your hip on it. We have wine fridge, microwave, pantry cabinets with full rollouts.
That's embarrassing.
It's closed. That wasn't gonna look. Upper pantry cabs, all new appliances through. Downdraft, which this is the first downdraft in the center that we've done. So this one, turn it on high, sets right down the center here, and then it's vented out the side of the house, and Corey can go show that.
There it is. Nice.
There.
Can't.
Ish. We got, what is this, like a light brass? Because it's not brass.
It's a champagne brass.
Champagne brass. Faucet by Delta. Delta champagne faucet right here. Upper cabinets, dishwasher, roll up trash drawers, double for recycle. Lazy Susan cabinets are always nice. We have those. We can feature that on here for some nice Lazy Susan. Usually this is where my wife would put powdered sugar, brown sugars, all the baking essentials in there for all the oatmeals, all that kind of stuff. Then we have the floors that we had to wait for the COVID-19 slowdown from Canada. So these are all pre-finished. These are engineered floors, and they have a light distressing to them. And they are Gardner white oak with a Mariner finish, I believe, if I got all that correct. The undercab light was like our other video. I was about to say the street name, and I don't want to do that.
Other dim.
Right. And then this guy. And this guy. And that's just a one-touch soft off. Fancy. So when I say minor trim work, we did have to add quarter round on the floor. We're not a fan of quarter round, but instead of changing out all the baseboards and going through all the cost, quarter round's the way to go. Okay, can lights before in the other video we had, I think there was 2 here and 3 over here. Then they had this one tied in. We totally changed the layout so that these 3 fit together, these 3 fit together, and then we have one on its own switch here. We did. What's that?
Yeah,
beadboard. So, Dad, if I get this wrong, you can yell at me later. Beadboard for Knotty Alder. They do not make such a thing. So, with that, my dad had to set up the dado blade on the table saw and keep offsetting and putting this special blade into it to create his own beadboard panels so that you could still have the knots. Otherwise, usually beadboard's made out of plywood material. Well, once you cut this into a plywood material, you're gonna see that. So you can see on the back, it looks like a solid panel here, but he has it all glued together, just like if you're gluing a bunch of these side jambs together, and then with that, putting it through the table saw, and then he does the full sheet at one time so that all the beads match up through the panels, because it would look weird if this one was here and then this next bead offset over here. Just like if we pan over to those, all the beads match up. It's not one sheet per se, but everything matches up. Raj just chilling. Raj needs a COVID-19 haircut. If there's any good hairstyles to go for, Raj is looking for a new hairstyle right now. So we can get in, you know, just write in the comments of if you should do a mohawk, if you should go full buzz, if you should do
A cul-de-sac.
a cul-de-sac like an 80-year-old man where it's just shaved on the top.
Japanese monk style.
So
Hey, baseboard. Heat.
So baseboard heat, we repurposed the baseboard heat. It was on that wall under the window. Then we repainted it in the shop, sanded it down, got all that old paint off of it. My dad made a boot ledge, I guess, made out of the same material as the bench, so that you can put your feet right on here. Look at that. On the white cabinets even. Perfect.
Raj. Get a haircut.
So,
It's beautiful. That way you don't mess up your floor heater.
that's right. And it stays nice. Bobcat white paint.
Good old Bobcat White.
Then on the outside of the doors, you can see we have these magnetic catches available at any Home Depot or Lowe's. We screw those on the doors. And then here I had to put 2 bump stops up because this patio slopes just a little bit to keep water off. But then, just like that, and it's about a 3 to 5 pound draw to get it to come off. If it's super windy, you can't have it open, but it's great to allow when you're having big parties and stuff.
Why else do we do that?
Open that up. The other reason is the brick on the other side is super close to the window radius. And if we didn't have those bump stops, it would just crash through and blow out the glass. And that's an expensive door to have to fix. So we always get super nervous about that when the bump stops aren't in and we're using it to work in and out. So then, instead of doing a regular gray concrete slab, we have a stamped concrete with apple red is this concrete color. And then he puts in the texture into it. And then you could clean it if you want it all to be a perfect red. However, we like the little bit of black to go with the red door.
Distressed.
Is that coughing there?
COVID. And 2 overhead lights.
So instead of having a wall sconce on each side of the doors, since it's not going to let in much light, and if these are open and nighttime, you have guests and everything, you want to be able to see the step. We did 2 little exterior can lights here. One of these, what you do is
Bright.
Yep, right. Even in the middle of the day.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So this is, it looks like 3x6 subway tile with, they're already spaced to the 16th and a 16th to give you that 1/8 inch grout joint. Then the way that these are all laid is a herringbone style versus laying them just straight subway style. With that, it gives you a nice contrast versus you could do contrast with, if you were going subway style, to do blue grout or red grout or dark gray grout or something. But this is the focal point, I guess. Focal point of the backsplash is just the style, but you're not trying to pay attention to the grout. So for a focal point in here, the backsplash laid at a herringbone style gives good character for the kitchen. Doesn't pull too much away from the countertops, because the countertops are another focal point. The bright blue is a great focal point of the cabinets. Yeah. All in all, kitchens usually take us 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how many walls we're moving, how many lights we're having to move, what we run into when we open up. So with that, if you're doing it, everybody's like, oh, I can do my own kitchen on the weekends. We do this every day, and yeah, I overlay 3 to 5 jobs. However, we still have a lot of time in one kitchen with doing hardwood floors, doing cabinet installs. You got painters, you got electricians, you got plumbers, sometimes HVAC guys, drywall guys, you have, concrete guys for one step outside. It's not just, oh, click it, it's done. But a typical kitchen, I mean, if we were here on this job every single day and just going straight constant, and we had everybody working on top of each other, yeah, we could probably get it done in 5 weeks. However, that's not the way I like to work, because I don't want to have the electrician working right here while we're trying to install cabinets right here. Everybody's in each other's way. So I would plan 8 weeks for a good contractor to do, a full kitchen and move in ready. Anything else?
All right, you ready to sawzall this stud out?
Yeah.
Ready? Some hard work there. I heard if you pull that trigger, it works better.
I thought it was just to get the blade out of the piece of wood.
You know what? I learn something new every day with you, Raj.
And
Love working with you.
takes time to learn these things.